So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to set up a template. All right?
Okay.
You come over here, you're going to click that button to open this up. And then you're going to come down to where it says templates. You're going to click on the template. And we're going to click on, so you got checklists and you got templates. I'm going to do a transaction template. I've already got some here, but I'm going to create a brand new one because you wouldn't have any here. So I'm going to hit add. And you know what? I'm going to make one for the office. Lock contact. So I'm going to call this residential purchase contract. The type is going to be a residential sale. And I'm going to leave description blank. I'm going to save it. And then now we have, what we want to do is we want to create a template for all of our forms that we're going to use. So I'm going to add some forms. And yeah, do you remember the forms that we talked about on the last call?
Yeah.
Tara, you remember?
Oh, I was just talking. I'm on mute the whole time. I tried to remember them by the numbers today. So I do remember the addendum. I think it's 100.
100. That's the addendum, right? You know another one?
Was it 130? Oh no.
130 is the repair request addendum.
No, I'm getting mixed up with 430.
No, 130 is right though. That's the repair request addendum, and we will need that. We're going to need 305, which is the buyer-broker agreement. Can you think of another one?
335.
Property disclosure.
Ooh.
Home inspection.
Okay. For your protection, get a home inspection, which is 430.
And the actual contract, 335.
35. Anything else? Suppose the house was built in 1975.
Lead paint.
Oh, lead.
Lead-based paint. And one last crucial one.
Property disclosure.
Residential property disclosure, which is 427. So those 7 documents we may use a lot. There are some other ones, but the release, sometimes we use a release, but I don't want to jinx ourselves by putting the release in there. All right, so we're just going to deal with those 7 right there. We're going to add those. And now those are activated right here to our forms, our templates. The only one that I really want to deal with is 335. And I'm going to edit this form. Now, a lot of this stuff is going to come pre-populated. You know, all of this stuff is going to be pre-populated. Yep, all of this is pre-populated. Now, I want to stop right here. This is not going to be automatically pre-populated, but we do know every time we're dealing with a home buyer, they need to get an appraisal. So I'm going to go ahead and check that box right now. So when the time comes, I won't have to check it. We got the financing. Even our earnest money deposit, we know where it's going to go to, right? A lot of
title and escrow.
A lot of us are going to be dealing with first title and escrow, so we might as well just go ahead and plug that in there now. And we also know that they're going to be paying with the check, and they will pay the deposit within how many days?
5.
5 days. Settlement shall be at the office of first title and escrow. And keep in mind, if you're going to use somebody else, you can change it. But I know for the majority of the time, we're going to be using first title and escrow because when we close, they wire the money straight to Smitty. We don't have to be driving around picking up checks or waiting for the mail. Occupancy disclosure, 9 times out of 10, the person that we're selling the house to is going to occupy the property. All the time, the residential property disclosure is subject to the act, and it will be attached. So I don't know if we're dealing with a homeowners association, so I'm going to leave that blank.
It is. Oh, you talking about overall? I got you.
Yeah. Because remember, this is a template for anything that we do.
Right.
And we don't know if we're going to have a condominium, so I'm going to leave that blank. Tara, you had a question?
No, I'm just writing down as you go.
Okay. And seller hereby grants the purchaser to have the right to have it inspected. I'm going to check that box because if they want to waive it, we can always uncheck it. And I'm going to check this box and ask for 10 days. I'm going to leave this blank because that's optional. Even the home warranty, I'm going to leave, right now, I'm going to leave it blank. And if they want the warranty, then you just plug that information in there at that time. Of course, the water and septic, we don't know what it's going to be, so I'll leave that blank. And the next thing is the ratification, so I'll leave that blank. And all of this stuff should be auto-populated. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit save and exit. So now everything is saved under form. So I'm going to hit update one more time just to make sure that it's straight. All right, so now I'm going to go back home. Actually, what we're going to do now is we're going to see if did that take. So I'm going to go back to the property, and we're going to hit the TD, start a transaction. And then I'm going to come over here, remember 3518, templates. So all of these are the templates that I created for myself, but the residential, the one that's in all caps, I made that for the office. So I'm going to check on that. I'm going to click that one. We're going to import the data from the MLS, and that is the MLS number. And we're going to use the wizard, and you are the selling agent. Once you hit create, right now it's going to auto-populate everything. Are either one of y'all on a computer?
I got the iPad right here beside me.
So I'm just going to hit next all the way through. And then remember, when we get to the contact wizard, I'm going to add somebody. I'm going to add an existing contact, and I'm just going to pick somebody from out of my contacts. Adam. We're just going to use Adam as our buyer for today. This is Adam's contact information. Boom. Adam has been added. We're going to hit next. Now, on the form section, these are all our templates. I'm going to hit next again. This last document section is anything that the other realtor added is going to be here.
Okay, okay.
See the disclosures right here? You click on that. Now, they've already got the owner to sign off on the residential property disclosure. And now you have it on your transaction desk. Now we're going to hit done. And now you're on the dashboard for this particular property. On this side, now I edited mine. I changed mine around. But there's only two blocks that you want to be concerned with. The forms block, which is the stuff that's coming from the MLS, and the documents block. The documents block is the things that you already had signed. They will be right here in your documents.
Gotcha.
So I want to change the first document. So while you're in the dashboard, the first thing I'm going to work on is the buyer-broker agreement. If I did not already have him sign a buyer-broker agreement before we writing the first contract, I would add it in with everything else.
Okay.
So, in your buyer-broker agreement, you're going to put today's date. And then remember what I talked about before? You check the box, buyers retaining the broker to acquire the following specific property. You can leave it like this with the specific property, or you can add in TBD to be determined, and that will account for any property. And then you start it on today, and you can let it run for as long as you feel comfortable. Some agents do a year. I would probably do 3 months. If I can't find you something in 3 months, then you're not serious. Y'all could read this later on, but the box that you want to check is the box that says option B. Broker should be paid a fee equal to the compensation offered by a listing firm. And what is that compensation, you ask? Go back and tab back to the listing agreement, scroll down to the bottom, and this one, buyer is offering, the buyer's compensation is 3%. Remember we talked about it before, sometimes it's 2.5, sometimes it's a flat fee of either $1,000 or maybe even $500. All right?
Very important.
And we go back to the transaction desk. So now that you got that built out, you can either send it, get it undersigned right now, or save and exit and add it with everything. Then we're going to come to the purchase agreement, which is $335. You're going to add in the date, today's date. Adam, all of that stuff was pre-populated. River City Blues, the address, the legal description, all of that was pre-populated. Purchase price, we're going to put the purchase price right in there, and it's going to automatically populate the letters, spelled out, and the numbers. This sale is subject to FHA financing. Dreas, I seen that you put in here 30 and 1. That's fine. You can either do that, leave it blank. Also, at the time of the prevailing rate of interest at the time of settlement. You can leave it blank or you can put that in there. The choice is up to you. If you're going to ask for closing costs, and I think we did, right? Check that box, $5,000. All right. And remember, the appraisal is already checked. First title and escrow, 5 days is already there. The only thing we need to do is click in how much we're going to do the $1,000 EMD. First title and escrow, and we're going to choose this one, and we're going to close, I think he said the 16th, which is perfect. Remember, I was struggling with that because I know you said 30 days, but I was like, well, we don't want to do it on Friday. I definitely don't want to do it on the 9th, so I just said 16th. Yep, that's fine. That is definitely fine. So you got to think about it too. If we're writing the contract on the 12th, but they might not sign it, and we might not get it ratified until the 14th. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you just count 4 weeks from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is like you're right. It was the 12th, but you just push it to the following Tuesday. Right. All of this is already checked, so we don't have to check it. The residential property disclosure already checked. This is in this particular property ended up being in an association. So we want to check it is an association, but even though it's an association, it's not a condominium. So it's not a condo. Scroll on down, all of this, purchaser has the right to inspect. He got 10 days already done. If you want or don't, that's up to you. Leave it blank. It's optional. Now, if they wanted to have home warranty, you can plug that in, or you can just check decline. Additional terms. Now, right here is where you want to throw that clause in. So remember, we can tab back to the listing, come down, and just copy it. No known defects, fireplace, food, all conveys as is. Copy it, and we bring it right on back over here. And that's it. Got it. This one it's not a well and septic. Check the boxes. Now, the decision is how much time you want to give them. 3 o'clock tomorrow. But then, too, another thing you got to be mindful of is who you're dealing with. Because there are times, like, look, right now, it's 7 o'clock at night. We can give them until 7 o'clock tomorrow. That's an ample amount of time, 7 p.m. tomorrow. Or, Adam, your client, is they responsive? Like when you send them an email, do they reply right away? Or they're not going to get to this until tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock? Well, right. You just got to be mindful. If they don't sign it until tomorrow at 10 o'clock, then you got to have time to send it to the other agent and give them time. So we might want to ask until Friday for a response time.
Gotcha.
Now, on mine, just so happens that everything populated. But remember when you did it, all of this stuff didn't populate? So
you know
you're
what,
going to
Derek? I didn't put the optional. I didn't put the MLS number and all that stuff down there. So that's probably why. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Put all that stuff in there and it'll auto-populate. Now that I'm finished with this, I always want to start off by sending the first document, the contract. So I'm going to start the Authentisign. And we just need to remember who we're dealing with. We're going to add the people from the transaction. We know we want the buyer to sign, but do you need to sign?
Not on this one.
Well, it all depends. You're going to need to sign if you didn't have them sign the buyer-broker agreement, and you're going to need to sign if this is a lead-based paint. So if there's not a lead-based paint and you don't have to worry about the buyer-broker agreement, then you don't check this box.
Oh, okay.
But if you do, because if you check this box and you don't have to sign, I'm going to do it. I'm going to check this box, and we're going to select these people to be signing. Adam is the buyer, so we're going to assign Adam to that buyer's box selection. So we're going to add some documents here. Let's say that we already had him sign the buyer-broker agreement, so I'm not going to send him that. No lead-based paint. I want to send him the for-your protection, get a home inspection, and the residential property disclosure. But remember, the other agent already sent one, so I don't need to add mine. You follow me?
Yeah.
So you can click on it just to confirm that that's the right one, and that's the right one. So I'm going to add this one. I close that, and these are the documents. Okay, buyer. These are the documents that I just signed up, and me, my OCD self, I want to organize this because I want the contract, then the disclosure, then for your protection. So we scroll down to make sure all the signatures are in the right place, right? Make it nice and pretty. All right, we got to put his signature here. We go to the tools, and then Adam's going to sign here. Boom. And then this is in place. Right? So now we're done, right?
That's it.
So now I'm going to hit next, and look, boom, we got a problem. Because I added myself as a signer and didn't give myself a block to sign anything. So that just means you missed something. So what you can do is one of two things. Find where you needed to sign something and put your signature there, or go back to signers, click on your name, and remove from signing.
Gotcha.
Remove yourself from signing. Now, I'm not going to send this to Adam because he's not going to sign anything. But if I hit next now, it's going to go to Adam. Questions?
I think I got it now. I was writing down stuff as you talked about it.
Okay,
so I'm gonna try this assignment again.
Okay, so hopefully, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop recording